So what's going on, guys? My name is Mr. Dalek JD, and today is a pretty cool day for Call of Duty World War II. There was an update which went live last night which contained a bunch of awesome zombie fixes, and if you want the full details on that, if you're not informed, then be sure to click the link down below and watch that after you've watched this, of course. But very exciting times as new content has been added into the final Reich with this update. Now, it's nothing crazy, but as I predicted, 3 new weapons are now available inside of the mystery box for you to get in the final Reich and Grosten House, and moving forwards every other DLC map. And hopefully this is the start of many updates to come where new weapons will be added to the box, meaning there'll be tons of new weapons to use in zombies, meaning longevity and fun of the game will improve. Now, the 3 new weapons we have in the box are the WW2, the DPMG LMG and the Sten SMG, starting with the WW43. And all these weapons, like I mentioned, you get out of the mystery box. The WW43 is not too bad. I can imagine this to be great in multiplayer, but in zombies, it's pretty much your basic standard semi-auto weapon. If I had to compare it to anything, I'd say it's a lot like the M1 Garand, but just a lot weaker. It takes a lot more shots to pick off zombies. Upgraded though, this thing's not too bad, and it's called the Barbarossa Strike, which is a very cool name indeed, going with the whole theme and lore of the backstory of the game. But weirdly, not all of these guns have Pack-a-Punch camos. This one, at the moment, does not have a Pack-a-Punch camo when you upgrade it, but when you do upgrade it, you do get an additional ammo capacity, 20 bullets in a clip of around about 400 ammo, so you have a lot of ammo in this gun. Combined with double tap, you'll be going for quite a while with this weapon in terms of ammo, and it seems to be like a 2-shot kill up into the mid sort of 10s to 20 rounds, so it's not a bad weapon by any means, but definitely not my first choice. But honestly, I wouldn't say this is the worst gun out of the 3. It's actually pretty damn fun to use, and just like most of these bolt action rifles and semi-auto, they're pretty fun to use, and I mean the ammo's pretty great, so you can go for quite a while. But like I mentioned, when you're getting into the high rounds approaching the 20s, it's just not quite a viable option. It's good for taking out zombies, but for taking out anything else like bosses, it's not great. Now, the next weapon they added in was a new LMG called the DPMG. Now, this thing is pretty fun to use, definitely. I feel like its ammo capacity could be a lot better, especially the amount of bullets you have per clip. When using its non-upgraded version, you only get 20 bullets in a magazine, which you can find yourself reloading pretty much every 5 seconds with this weapon. Its fire rate's pretty decent, but out of all the LMGs, it probably classes as near the bottom in my opinion. It's not the worst LMG you could use in the game. I think the Bren definitely holds that title, not for it being particularly weak, it's just very slow firing, and you're gonna want something that's rapid and quick with an LMG. But upgraded, this thing is pretty awesome. It is now called the Good Enough, and it's pretty much what it says on the tin. Upgraded, the gun's good enough, but it's not the greatest LMG you'll find around in the map. I definitely would think an MG42 or perhaps the Lewis would be a better option. When it's upgraded, it has 50 shots in a clip, but the MG42 has that even when it's not pack-a-punched. So you do the math on this one, but for some reason you do get the camo on this one, and looking at the inspecting animation, you can see it's got a sort of rusted look to it with this pack-a-punch camo applied to it, which does look pretty cool, and I like the design and the reload animation quite a bit with this weapon. Like I touched on earlier, it's just the magazine size really that is going to stop me from picking this gun up every time and trying to get something better like an MG42 or a Lewis. I mean, the reloads on both of those guns are a lot quicker than this, but this does have a pretty unique look to it, so I can at least give it that. The last and final weapon they've added in is the Sten, which is pretty much a version of the bootlegger from Black Ops 3 Shadows of Evil, and is pretty much a direct copy of the Sten from Advanced Warfare from its multiplayer's DLC. But this gun is not the greatest weapon in the world. To me, it looks like a alternative Type 100 and feels exactly the same way. Even when it's papped and non-papped, its damage is pretty mediocre, and this is probably best used as a points gun along with other weapons like the grease gun. Now, when you pack-a-punch this, it is called La Resistance, so of course it's got that nice French twist. Perhaps this might be a weapon that Olivia's character would probably like a lot, but honestly, even when pack-a-punch, this thing is woeful. It does have a lot of ammo, which is great, but aside from that, it just doesn't really deal enough damage for you to warrant to be using this a lot into the high rounds. So all in all, these new weapons they've added in, they're not the most overpowered things we've ever seen, but it's nice to have a little bit of variety into the game, and especially with the WW2 and the DPMG, they are both guns which I think are really fun to use every so often, and you can make some cool challenges out of it, and you do get rewarded for accuracy when you're using the WW2 and going for headshots and stuff like that, so you can have a little bit of fun with them. But I want to know down below in the comment section, have you guys managed to get these out of the mystery box yet inside of the final Reich? I played 2 games and I went to round 30 and I could not get the Sten for the life of me, but as soon as I jumped into the next game, I finally managed to get it. So these guns are not exactly difficult to get out of the box, but they're not quite straightforward. You're going to be spinning quite a bit in order to get all of these guns in one game. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to drop it a thumbs up. The Winter Siege update is now fully live inside of World War II, so you can be getting these weapons inside of multiplayer now, and there is the new Winter Carentan multiplayer map, as well as some other winter outfits and stuff like that. But thank you for watching, make sure to drop a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and I'll catch you all next time.